In the northern border area of Sumy region, the crews of heavy bombers from the 71st Separate Ranger Brigade of the Air Assault Forces have switched to round-the-clock operations. Dense forests with ravines allow the occupiers to secretly approach the forward positions of our defenders, and that's when the vampires rush to the infantry's aid. Reaching the starting positions and rotating crews in the Sumy region is an extremely dangerous ordeal on its own. Transport is often unavailable or breaks down, so our soldiers are in great need of pickup trucks. The QR code on your screens during this segment is specifically for raising funds to buy pickups for our fighters. A report by TSN correspondent Oleksandr Motorny is coming up for your attention right now. That's it, Fab, by the way, 8.5 kilograms.
Boom, boom, boom. Inside? Yes. Onto the expansive territory we venture now.
It goes through, yes. Powerful mines with grenades.
If it hits the target, you could say, well, the phrase is hooray, hooray, yes.
And concealed engineering barriers and explosive traps.
The main number of mines was, as usual, strategically laid where they were most needed, and the unsuspecting enemy would inevitably get caught by them, by these dangerous mines.
Their primary task is to deliver, with the highest possible accuracy and precision, everything that can stop the enemy under their feet, under their wheels, on their armor, or even right on the heads of the Muscovites. There are some days when the heat is truly unbearable, indeed. The 70th 1st Jaeger Brigade of the Ukrainian Air Assault Forces entered the Sumy direction in May, right after exhausting battles in the Donetsk region. Its crews rested for just a few hours, explains the curator, the commander of the brigade's company of strike unmanned aviation complexes, while on the road to the north. And as soon as they reached the front line, the Jaeger vampires took off to kill and stop the occupiers.
What can I say? There are hills where the enemy was completely destroyed in the zone of responsibility. Those are our brigades. Essentially, that's about 2 motorized rifle regiments, just infantry that was wiped out. That is, this is only what has been confirmed.
All spring and summer, they kept pushing their forces toward Sumy, to the section of the northern Ukrainian border between Stepny and Myropilya, with the length of the main combat contact line being no more than 50 kilometers. The headquarters of the enemy's Sever troop grouping threw in almost 50,000 assault troops, mainly regiments with battalions of elite Russian naval infantry and paratroopers, along with a huge amount of equipment, with massive support from artillery and aviation.
It was very nice. So, a couple of 200. The rest, who were more or less alive, maybe they're 300.
Boxer, the pilot of the heavy bomber from the 71st Yaharska, together with his fellow vampires, has already destroyed dozens of Russian assault troops and burned more than one enemy armored vehicle in the Sumy region. The Muscovites probably already saw themselves in the regional center and even a quarter of 100 kilometers further. But the Yahar paratroopers, shoulder to shoulder with their comrades from other units, stopped the occupiers on their way to Sumy. They say thanks to the Ukrainian bomber pilots, the situation changed significantly.
Now there is less equipment, more infantry.
Enemy vehicles in the Sumy region, at least in the defense zone of the 71st Brigade, our soldiers say, haven't been seen for many weeks in a row. Instead, the dense forests and ravines, Ukrainian soldiers admit, allow small enemy assault groups to approach the forward positions of our infantry.
There is a lot of activity in the greenery behind the tree lines, where it's possible to move without being noticed. That's why it happens this way. It seems like everything is flying, everything is killing, but it's impossible to see it all. There's still plenty of greenery. More than enough. So for at least the next 3 weeks, we should definitely expect highly active assault operations.
For now, Ukrainian soldiers have generally halted the large-scale advance of the Russians in the north. but our defenders admit that there are still a lot of enemy forces in the Sumy region. Meanwhile, this year's lush greenery, says the coordinator, and in the Sumy region, of course, not today, not tomorrow, but soon it will inevitably fall.
In our unit, the sappers actually talk to the platoon leader, and he says, "I'm patiently waiting for these autumn leaves to finally fall."
Reporting from the border area in Sumy region, Oleksandr Motorny, Oleksandr and Serhiy Shportilov. TSN-1-1. Marathon is United News.
In peaceful life, they were farmers and drivers, but now they are defenders of Zaporizhzhia. The Garmash 6 unit of the 118th Mechanized Brigade is standing against the enemy in the south of the country. They destroy Russian equipment and support our infantry. Most of these artillerymen are around 50, but they can easily outdo much younger comrades. Our correspondent from TSN, Daria Nazarova, will tell you more about the specifics of their work. Coming up next.
Old but reliable. A towed howitzer of 122mm caliber. The gun works reliably against enemy equipment, and with just a few shots, it can stop a Russian assault group. Among themselves, the guys call it Marichka. Like a real woman, the soldiers say the system is capricious. That's why it needs attention and care, and it also has its own peculiarities when it comes to camouflage.
It's just small. When you need to hide or transport it, it's really compact. Compared to the 152mm or 155mm calibers. But it does have its drawback when it comes to setting it up. The legs, for example, unfold like this.
On the other hand, it has a simple aiming system, assures the soldier who used to be a tractor driver. He's only been working as an artilleryman for half a year, although it's his second time at war.
When I saw what was happening all the time, I realized I had to go again, as I said. Because things were already bad, you know, for the family, for the peace of mind. It was a bit easier back then.
Because things were already bad, as he said. The command to fire can come at any moment here, so both the cannon and the guys are always ready. So as not to get spotted by a Russian reconnaissance drone. After firing, the crew camouflages the cannon. It's dangerous to stay on the surface. At any moment, the occupiers could strike back. While we wait in the dugout, aerial reconnaissance reports that with 2 shots, the artillerymen destroyed an enemy mortar crew. Despite the large number of attack drones, says the tractor driver, artillery is still a powerful means of destruction. The occupiers' equipment almost never approaches the line of contact, so the artillerymen mostly target enemy infantry and positions. Uncle Kolya is preparing gifts for the Russians. In the past, he was just an ordinary driver.
At least
53, he easily handles 20-kilogram shells. He says that during battles, he doesn't even notice it, because above all, he thinks about his brothers in arms.
sometimes when they try to flank our infantry, sneak into the rear, we help out. The infantry thanked us. We did a good job. Not bad at all.
What did the guys say?
They were very grateful. The enemy had gotten into their rear, and we hit them right in their hiding spot. On
the country's defense, the whole family of the man is involved.
His daughters and her husband is also fighting as a sapper. A cousin, a brother-in-law, their parents. And
for the fighter with the call sign TOES, it's real. Family is the artillery crew. He protects his comrades from enemy FPV drones.
Especially if they spot the powerful cannon or the formidable gun, they can circle around and around continuously.
He has been passionate about hunting for over 20 years, so taking down Russian hardware, he says, isn't difficult. There are 5 people in the crew in total, from a peaceful life as an agrarian in Vinnytsia region.
And so,
now he's part of a steel flock. And they prove it with accurate shots at the enemy. Daria Nazarova, Ivan Koroshko, Zaporizhzhia, TSN 1+1. Marathon United News.